I'm not a doctor, I am merely recounting knowledge from old books and forming my own conclusions. Let's begin. Is recovery possible? Can you return your organism back to its optimal state? Back to the state of an organism that had never released in the first place? Can we reverse years of semen loss? Perhaps the following proverb is appropriate here. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Provided you are not on your deathbed, moments away from expiration, then recovery should be very possible. The rate and level of your recovery will be dependent on the natural constitution of your body and the level of action you're willing to take to cultivate healthy habits. The loss of your vitality is essentially what you are trying to remedy. Just as the depletion of your physical forces occurred gradually over many years, so will your recovery process take years to correct. The good news is, however, you can start to notice the smaller benefits almost immediately upon commencement of retention. Said in 1900, let us emphasize at the very start that no drugs, no tonics of any kind can be of the slightest influence towards creating or strengthening sexual power. The remedy must come from within, must accompany the building up of all physical forces. The circulation of the entire body must be awakened and brought up to a normal standard by natural means. Nature. Depend on nature and natural means entirely if you desire a cure. There is no excuse for impotence. One should retain the power of sex all through life, and if the laws of nature have not been grossly violated, this can be done in every instance. If your power in this way have been depleted or destroyed, rejuvenate them again by building up the nervous and physical forces. The vitality in our body, the ojas, it is present in every cell. Like a form of electricity that energizes the structure, the stimulation of the prostate draws on this vital energy and converts it to its physical manifestation, semen. The creation of this precious fluid starts at the sexual thought impulse and is achieved by drawing energy out of the brain, nervous tissues and cells of your body and using that energy to produce semen in the testes. This diverts valuable energy away from the organs and tissues. This is perhaps why many doctors of note throughout history attributed excessive masturbation to nervous debilitation and insanity. Consider this. The ingredients to create such an energetic life-giving fluid is none other than your own life essence. We have been built to be able to make this sacrifice of our energy for the sake of the creation of a new human being. But if we are not using it for the purpose of procreation, then ultimately, what are we gaining from this sacrifice? We are paying a huge cost for momentary pleasure by giving up a small portion of our own life. This complete control of sexual energy is acquired not merely by abstention from sex act, but also by control of thoughts and desires, so that not the slightest thought or desire connected with sex or suggesting sex even enters the mind. For this current of energy referred to above is extremely susceptible to thought, and the slightest thoughts connected with sexual desires immediately stir up and direct the energy to the sexual organs. Brahmacharya is therefore a control of the thoughts so complete that not the slightest stirring of our sex instincts is possible at any time. It is only under such conditions that the grosser energies of the body can be sublimated to serve the higher purposes of the soul. And the earlier in life we begin this self-discipline, the easier it is to acquire this control. For recovery on semen retention, you will need the following. Time. Much time. If this habit has been going on for over a decade, then perhaps realize your recovery will take numerous years of concentrated effort. That the possibility of regeneration and recovery is even possible should motivate you regardless of the time required. Even in the first 6 to 12 months of complete retention, you will experience life-changing results, but this is perhaps only the tip of the iceberg. Understand that retention is no quick fix, but a habit that is practiced for long enough will recover your faculties to their optimal state and will fill your organism with untold levels of energy that will permeate through every fiber of your being. Exercise. You will need to move your body and work up a sweat at least twice a day. Muscular exercise adapted to the needs of the individual tends to produce, in every case, a more normal condition. For instance, if one is too fleshy to be in normal health, it will take off flesh. If too thin, it will add flesh. This ability of physical culture to bring about the highest degree of normal health is exemplified with equal emphasis in sexual life. Those who suffer from weakness in this way will find its specially adapted training the only safe means of cure. As the muscles develop, the digestive power increases, the circulation improves, the nerves are strengthened, and the mind refreshed with renewed confidence. This building up of the physical strength affects beneficially every organ of the body. The same can be said of its effects of those suffering sexually from an excess of animal life. This is a disease just the same as the other extreme, and this surplus energy can be absorbed and used to advantage if expended in muscular exercise. Not only does the muscle and nerve power increase and the general health vastly improve when this method is followed, but the unusual and unnatural strength of this abnormal desire disappears, creating in reality a greater, safer strength and removing the feverish of an overwrought nervousness. The effect of cultivating sexual vigor by building up the muscular and vital powers of the body cannot be fittingly described. If all powers in this way are lost, or if they seem to have so diminished in vigor that the intense desire of vigorous pulsating youth has disappeared, they can be entirely regained by natural processes assisted by the muscular movements described here, of rich blood in copious quantities to every part of the body which results from these exercises is one of the salient features necessary in order to regain the sexual powers. Under the influence of proper exercise for every muscle of the body, the heart, with quick and strong, greatly accelerated pulsations, forces the blood with increased power through the arteries and capillaries, drives the impurities out through the great purifying organs, the skin and kidneys, and causes every organ of the body to be rejuvenated and strengthened. Sleep. To reap the restorative benefits of sleep, follow the simple rule: sun up, be up; sun down, lay down. The closer you adhere to this schedule, the closer your restorative benefits will be. This is how your circadian rhythm is programmed and thus how your body can fully make use of sleep. If you sleep early for consecutive days, your body should develop a natural waking up time, roughly 6 to 8 hours after sleep. Try to allow yourself to awake naturally and set an alarm at the latest possible time in case for whatever reason your body misses this time. For the most part, your body will begin to set its own alarm clock, and this is the most natural time to rise. If you find you are awakening in the middle of the night, you are perhaps not expending enough physical and/or mental energy before sleep and should engage in some activity that will work the body and mind to fatigue. Two good recommendations for both mental and physical exercise are outdoor running and chess. Foods. In today's times, there are countless perspectives on the most appropriate diet for the body. Each come with their pros and cons. In terms of regeneration, the best foods are of high, unprocessed quality, rich in minerals and easily digestible. Rice, meats, vegetables, soups. Depending on one's body weight, the calorie intake may be adjusted accordingly, underweight needing more calories and overweight needing less. Vices. The renunciation of all unhealthy vices such as cigarettes, drugs, and alcohol. Following a lifestyle of good foods, outdoor exercise, and sleep will greatly aid you on your journey of semen retention. All such practices will contribute towards revitalizing energy stores, organ regeneration, blood quality improvement, and an overall improvement of the structures of your organism and subsequently its appearance. Keep these realizations in mind, and your long-term goals for recovery will gradually materialize. With consistency applied, you will inevitably experience a restorative transformation back to your optimal level of physical health.